Now, that's kind of the main thrust of what I'm sharing today, but I want to bring up something else that we're going to be talking about because I've been doing some research, and I'm kind of blown away. You know, about 18 to 20 years ago, I was attacked, I and Don Nelson and Greg McGregor Ministries, Keith and Becky Walker, by some people in ministry, and they claimed that Jesus was in heaven with just a dirt, flesh and blood body, and it was so ridiculous, we all just rejected it, but I never went into the rest of what they're teaching. Well, the attacks came back. So instead of doing ministry and helping each other, we got people attacking. Now, we're not going to attack them. And I want to make clear, being Henspen, we don't attack anybody. But we're going to reach out to these people. And if any of them hear of our program and are listening, we're only going to name one name that's alive anyway in this group. And I just want to share with you that because of my research, I found out how insane and bizarre their doctrines are. They are totally demonic. It shocked me. And the perpetrator, really, the modern-day one who people have followed, is Dr. Norman Geisler. You can find him on the Internet. You can pull his name up. And under Dr. Norman Geisler, who has a Ph.D., that's a doctorate in philosophy. Now, as you know, philosophy is a study in human wisdom, which God calls in 1 Corinthians 1-3 foolishness. And I've read some of his books, and other people have, and they're not biblical. They're foolishness. But right under his name, it says he's a neo-scholastic. I want to read you from my dictionary what a neo-scholastic is. This is right here from Webster's Dictionary, a scholastic or a scholar pertaining to the schoolmen of the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages. Now, this is the Dark Ages. And that's what they claim. They admit that their doctrines are from the Dark Ages. Or those philosophers and diviners who adopted the system of Aristotle. System of Aristotle? Aristotle was a Greek philosopher. And he taught a lot of Greek mythology and philosophy, and so did Plato, and they follow this. And so do the other names I'm going to give you. And they spent much time on points of nice speculation. Schoolmen of the Middle Ages. These are the Dark Ages. And the people they follow are people like Augustine of Hippo. And I'm telling you this because I want you to write these names down. I want you to go to these websites. Just go there and see. Dr. Norman Geisler, you'll see he's a philosopher, and he's a neo-scholasticician. And that's what they believe in. And you can find out that that's just a study and a following of Dark Age church, Catholic church leaders like Augustine of Hippo, Jerome, Jerome, and St. Thomas Aquinas. And if you'll write those down, Augustine of Hippo, Jerome, St. Thomas Aquinas, and look up what they believe. They believe and teach all the doctrines of and philosophies and pagan mysticism and pagan mythology of the Greeks and the Babylonians and the Egyptians, doctrines of demons, 1 Timothy 4:1-3. And if you get to listening to anybody that's promoting the Catholic Church, I want to tell you something. The Catholic Church has nothing right. I could have written another book called The Luciferian Jesuit Cult, Life in the Catholic Church, Nothing Right, because they have nothing that's biblically correct. Not one thing. They're just like the Watchtower and the Mormon Church. They have not one thing right. It's just a study and doctrines of demons. And when you find out what these guys believed and taught, it will blow you away. And so you got a little homework. That's all. Just want any interested who wanted to find out what all this baloney is. I am shocked because I didn't realize the depth of their error. I knew that what they were teaching was wrong, was not biblical on the surface, but I didn't realize the rest of it. So a little homework, because we're going to go into this one of these days soon, and I'd just like you to be up on it. Neo means new in Greek, so it's supposedly new scholastics. These are supposedly new. This is not old. This is old scholasticism, and it involves nothing but medieval myths. And it's shocking, and don't get caught up into it. They have a demon. The whole thing has been run for centuries by demons, and they need to have the demon cast out. And I'm calling upon any of them, if they will get help, go to God, ask forgiveness. I preached wrong doctrine for most of my life. God forgave me. That's the God we have. It's okay. We've all been wrong. All of us on Henspin all believe things and taught things wrong. But if we will actually go to God, go to His Word, and research what we're believing to see that if it's in accord with the Word of God, and if it's not, we're teaching wrong. And I encourage you, and we're begging you, and we're doing this with Christian love. We're asking you, please, research what you believe. Make sure of all things. Hold fast to what is fine. And we just want you to do that. It's kind of funny that in the year 1879, Pope Leo XIII of the Catholic Church made these doctrines of Augustine and Jerome and St. Thomas Aquinas, which are absolute preposterous, made them official Catholic philosophy in the year 1879. Gee, that was a bad year for the world. That was the Watchtower started, and Pope Leo made that official proclamation. We just encourage you to go to the Lord and get help. God forgave me. He'll forgive you if you find you have really taught something that is utter blasphemy. And I encourage you. And we do this with love, honestly. I have no hard feelings to these people. I've forgiven them. It really was a blessing. It worked out to be a blessing for me. So I just want to encourage you to all research it. Don't be caught up into any of this stuff. The Catholic Church is 100% wrong. The Watchtower is 100% wrong. So is Mormonism. So are many of these religions. Follow the Word of God. You don't listen to me, anybody on Henspin, anybody, any man. You listen to the Word of God, because Jesus is our everything, and He loves us so much, and He loves our little ones. So God bless you all.